Canyons of the World, written by Edward Allen Kurtz.
Contents at a glance.
What is a canyon? A canyon, also called a gorge, is a deep valley that has steep and high cliffs on both sides. A canyon is usually cut into the Earth's crust from the erosion caused by a river. Many canyons still have a river that runs through them, while in other canyons the river no longer flows because it has dried up over time. Some canyons are very deep. People have always been amazed by canyons. When you stand high above a big canyon, it can be a very exciting experience. Let's learn more about canyons. Types of canyons. There are many kinds of canyons. Most canyons are formed by a river's erosion. A second type is called a mountain-type canyon. This type of canyon is found between two mountain peaks, but it is formed in the same way, by river erosion between the two peaks. There are mountain-type canyons in the Alps, the Andes, the Himalayas, and the Rocky Mountains. A slot canyon is very narrow and often has smooth sides. A box canyon has steep walls on three sides and has an entrance. This is called the mouth. Where canyons are found. Canyons are found in many areas on Earth, but they are more often found in dry areas than in wet areas. Erosion in dry areas is caused by the wind and water from the river. There are also many canyons in areas where there is limestone rock. A canyon found underwater at the mouth of a river is called a submarine canyon. There are canyons found on all 7 continents on Earth: Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America. But the Earth is not the only place where canyons are found. Canyons in outer space? Many people know about canyons here on Earth, especially famous ones like the Grand Canyon in Arizona in the United States. But not many people know that there are canyons on other planets. The canyon called Valles Marineris on the planet Mars is the biggest canyon in our solar system. It is 2,500 miles long, 120 miles wide, and more than 4 miles deep. There are also canyons on Venus and one on Tethys, which is one of Saturn's moons. This canyon is called the Ithaca Chasma and was discovered in 1980. How a canyon is formed, Part 1. The Earth's crust is made up of soft things like soil and harder things like rock. The source of a river is found at a higher elevation than where it ends, where its mouth usually empties into a body of water like a lake or ocean. The river travels downward from its source to its mouth, and this is what causes it to cut a canyon into the softer parts of the Earth's crust. Softer things like soil and soft rocks are washed downstream, while harder rocks remain. This process of erosion happens over very long periods of time. How a canyon is formed, Part 2. A canyon is mostly formed by the force of a river running through it, but there are other things that can help to form a canyon. Wind is one of these. Wind helps the erosion process. Freezing water also helps to form a canyon. Water can go into cracks between the rocks of a canyon. When the water freezes, it pushes the rocks apart. When this happens, big chunks of a canyon wall can break off. This is called frost wedging. Canyons can also be created when the ceilings of a group of limestone caves fall down. The deepest canyon in the world. The deepest canyon in the world is the Indus River Gorge. It is located where the Gilgit River and the Indus River meet in Pakistan. Rakaposhi, one of the Himalayan mountains, rises 25,550 feet high to the north. To the south is Nanga Parbat, the ninth highest mountain in the world. It is 26,660 feet high. Here, the Indus River flows at an elevation of 3,300 feet above sea level. At 23,360 feet deep, this makes the Indus River Gorge the deepest canyon in the world. The Kali Gandaki Gorge in Nepal is the second deepest canyon. The longest canyon in the world. The longest canyon in the world is the Grand Canyon of Greenland on the island of Greenland. It was discovered underneath the Greenland ice sheet in 2013. Scientists used radar that can see under the ice on Greenland, and they think it was formed by water and not by ice. This would have happened millions of years before ice formed over Greenland's surface. The Grand Canyon of Greenland is over 466 miles long, 6 miles wide, and 2,600 feet deep. The scientists who discovered it call it a mega canyon. Canyons and people. In the past, people sometimes chose canyons for their homes. The Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, in Africa, is important because scientists have discovered that humans lived there for thousands of years. A canyon also makes a good place for cliff dwellers to live. These caves found high up on the walls of a canyon provide safety for cliff dwellers. The most famous cliff dwellings are found in North America. The ancient Pueblo peoples were cliff dwellers who lived hundreds of years ago in canyons like Mesa Verde in Colorado. Famous canyons. Colca Canyon. Colca Canyon is a large canyon in Peru in South America. At 13,650 feet deep, it is twice as deep as the Grand Canyon in the United States. It is 45 miles long, and there is a long history of the indigenous Inca people living in this area. One of the most special things about Colca Canyon is its wildlife. People who visit the pass called Cruz del Condor are treated to a special sight, Andean condors. These huge endangered birds float on the updrafts from the canyon below, and they often fly quite close to amazed visitors. Famous canyons. Copper Canyon. Copper Canyon is a canyon located in northwestern Mexico. Its real name is Barrancas del Cobre, or Canyon of Copper. This name comes from the color of the canyon walls. There are 6 separate canyons that make up Copper Canyon, and these 6 canyons were formed by 6 different rivers. All 6 rivers join to form one river called Rio Fuerte, which empties into the Gulf of California. The Copper Canyon Railway runs for 400 miles, goes over 36 bridges and through 87 tunnels, and climbs as high as 8,000 feet. Famous canyons. Grand Canyon. It might not be the biggest, or the longest, or the deepest canyon in the world, but the Grand Canyon in the United States is probably the most famous canyon in the world. It is 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and a little over 1 mile deep. It is a national park, and more than 5 million people visit it each year. Most people stay up on the rim of the canyon to be amazed at the incredible views. Some people walk down to the bottom, while others take boat trips down the Colorado River, which formed the canyon. Famous canyons. Verdon Gorge. Verdon Gorge is a beautiful canyon that is located in southeastern France. The color of the water of the Verdon River is a brilliant turquoise, and this helps to make some people call this the most scenic canyon in all of Europe. It is also nicknamed the Grand Canyon of Verdon. It is 13 miles long and 2,300 feet deep. There are many activities that people enjoy at the Verdon Gorge. Some people enjoy hiking along the paths, while others have fun kayaking on the pretty river. There are also many places to do rock climbing. Interesting facts. Scientists tell us that the rocks found at the bottom of the Grand Canyon are about 2 billion years old. Copper is mined in parts of Copper Canyon, but it got its name from the color of the canyon walls. A canyon is sometimes called a gorge or a ravine. Native Americans have been living in the area around the Grand Canyon for thousands of years. Fish River Canyon in Namibia, in Africa, is 500 million years old, 100 miles long, 18 miles wide, and 1,800 feet deep. Antelope Slot Canyon is a well-known canyon in Arizona that is located on territory of Native American Navajos. The biggest canyon in our solar system, Valles Marineris, is nicknamed the Grand Canyon of Mars. The Grand Canyon in Arizona became a national park in 1919. Echidna Chasm in Australia is named after the little egg-laying mammal, the echidna, that lives in Australia and New Guinea. The people who live in the Copper Canyon area are called the Tarahumara people, and they are related to the ancient Aztec people. Black Canyon in Gunnison National Park in Colorado is so narrow at some places that the sun hits the bottom of the canyon only around noon. Bryce Canyon in Utah is filled with strange limestone columns known as hoodoos.